All right, what's going on, everybody? Good morning. Welcome. Happy Monday. We are back in action. All right. Please let me know. Just somebody comment in the chat and let me know if you can hear me or not. And then I'll get going here. So let me get Sharon over here. One sec. Let me know you can hear me, please, so I'm not talking to myself on this. Great. All right. Thank you there, sound engineer, Seeker, and Snaz. Appreciate it. All right. So let's go. Let's get into it. Let me share. And we'll get into it. Obviously, we'll get a little start. Let's see. I'm using a different little streaming platform here. So just working out some of the kinks. But all right. First off, as always, all right, let's do it. Now, NASDAQ, the key focal point. I know we went over this a little bit last night, and we'll do it again briefly. But if you want me to take a look at any specific name that you have, feel free to shoot it in the chat bar, or you can comment it under the tweet this is under. I know a lot of you are watching on X, and I just realized that if you don't have X Premium, then you can't comment. So you could just comment underneath this stream as it is. I have it up right now, so I'll be able to look as well. Also, if you haven't already, just like the channel, whichever platform you're watching this on, and share this video as well. I would appreciate that. Now, taking a look at the weekly chart here. So this is the big, the major focal point for me this week in order to kind of give me some sort of directional bias moving forward beyond this week. Okay. And with this week, we have Tuesday afternoon, you have Tesla and Google earnings. Wednesday, you have PMIs. You have Thursday, GDP. And Friday, you have PCE. So there is a lot this week that could create some volatility throughout the market, right? Now, the big number that I'm looking for to avoid the creation of a weekly bearish fair value gap, okay, which we don't want. We do not want a weekly bearish imbalance if we're bullish. Okay, if we're bearish, then yes, we need one in order for us to finally look towards a discount retracement. But at the moment, we would need to get price back up to 20,335. A move to 20,335 that would prevent a weekly bearish fair value gap from forming, and at that point, really wouldn't be all that bullish for a melter of any sorts. Okay, but if we were to create that imbalance, and it would look something like this, right? This probably is not the high of the week, so this imbalance could very much change, but it would look something like this, and that imbalance right there would give me a little bit of an idea that if this were to form at the end of the week, still 4 days, 8 hours left, but if that were to form and price were to retrace up into there, I would fully expect price to get in and retrace from that point. Okay, so that is just weekly on NASDAQ. That imbalance that could form is really what I'm looking at for more of a directional bias over the next, however many weeks. That's really, the driving force for me. So we will see what happens. And like I said earlier, there are a lot of things that could pop up here over the next couple of days that, this could very well get wiped. But like I said, this is just what I'm using at the moment. Now, if we're coming over to the daily time frame, we'll take a look and see that throughout this most recent price run from our low to our high, here's our discount retracement. Inside that discount retracement, we got into a bullish imbalance. We also swept liquidity on the downside here. And this is the last Monday low. So we took out that low. And so far, so good. Now, you'll notice that I have showtime on this imbalance right up here. And the reason why this is showtime, because in a perfect world, you'll probably hear me say, Mando model completes at blank, right? And while that's still has the potential to be true here and complete up at our all-time highs. The only difference is that I need to take into consideration this higher time frame outlook and the external factor here. And the external factor here is just the amount of time that it takes. Okay, like I said before, it all depends on, do we form the weekly imbalance or not, right? If this happens quickly, I wouldn't really deem this as a showtime imbalance, right? Then at that point, I think price can kind of get up and get through this, no problem. But if it takes a while, for example, the week, and we do not close in what would be a weekly bearish fair value gap, that's a problem for bulls, right? And at that point, that's when I would deem it showtime and likely see some sort of deeper retracement on the market as a whole. All right. So that's why I have showtime imbalance there. Really all reliant on the time it takes to get into, into this imbalance itself. And again, time is a very important component to trading, and the reason for that is due to the algorithm that delivers price. I think there really is something to the the effectiveness, and it's more specifically why time plays such an important role in how price is actually moved, right? So that would be NASDAQ on the daily as well. And then if we were just to break it down into the hourly time frame, you're going to notice we have an absolutely massive range. And one thing that we learned last week, if you didn't know it already, is that when you have massive ranges like this, you can create massive ranges, massive retracements. I'm sorry, massive ranges creates massive ranges. Yeah, massive retracements. Meaning, if we were to look at this just overall, this price run that took out all of these lows in the process, you're going to notice that this is enormous, right? And if you're someone who studies price, and you have realized over time that price tends to like to retrace into discount of your specific ranges, and discount in this case would be 20,134, then that doesn't sound like that crazy of an idea. Now, if we were to zoom in even more, we could take a look. Not only are we well in premium of this bearish range, but a move above this high right here, and we would create a bullish hourly breaker. Low, high, lower low, break up and through. We can anticipate the high of that candle to act as a support level moving forward. So that'll be something that is going to be on a really high alert for me this week, with also these relative equal highs in discount of your overarching bearish range here on the hourly time frame. Above these relative equal highs, what else do we have to take into consideration? Again, where's that weekly imbalance form? Where does that weekly imbalance form? 20,335. 20,335. So it's got to get you up here, somewhere up here in this vicinity, in order to prevent that weekly imbalance from forming. So while possible, just going to wait and allow that to shake itself out, so that I am not trying to front run something that really hasn't suggested prices is going to move or anything, right? So let me just mark that imbalance here on the hourly time frame. That is an hourly bullish fair value gap here, and that starts at 866 on NASDAQ, right? So I think that's about all I got here on NASDAQ. Here's another example of a showtime imbalance. Here's your showtime imbalance from last time. Look what happened. Price got up into it, 2 attempts, took out liquidity from the first, and ultimately puked it. Okay, so that's why they're yes, just like any other imbalance, but they are imbalances with a time component to them that I believe is pretty important. And that is also a daily level too. So let me come on over to the chat and see if anybody has any questions. Feel free to, you can put them over in that live chat, and I'll get to them as well. Let's see. Okay, cool. All right. So if you guys have any specific names you want to look at, feel free to drop them over in the sidebar, and I'll get into them. No, minded, no. So all right, let's get into it. Let's go into a couple of these individual names. So Tesla earnings this week, of course. Looks like this morning, yep, with about 15 minutes left. It looks like we are going to get a volume imbalance here on the weekly or a gap higher. Tesla not quite in discount of its most recent price run, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it has to go into discount. I'm looking, from the perspective of somebody who's been in for a while, and an area in which I would like to um, add some more. At this point, I'm already in. So, but I'm looking here, and we did sweep these relative equal highs, so a retracement wouldn't be crazy. And we have a couple massive imbalances down here in discount of that range, but does have earnings, and like I said, it does not necessarily have to retrace back down into discount of this range. It can very well explode off of earnings and continue higher, but you know, it, I'm already in, so I don't really care, and I really no interest in selling my shares anyway. So, so that would be Tesla. I know a little more brief, but we are in premium. Doesn't really line up with my model, and we have earnings on Tuesday afternoon. So, but here's GameStop. Here's the second one that I'm looking at for the week. GameStop in a very important place for bulls to hold on to this week. So if you take a look over here, you will notice that we are inside a daily bullish breaker. Low, high, lower low, break up and through. Here's your retracement back down into your breaker. Okay, so this is an area that is very, very important for the bulls to hold. If you want to understand why is that important for bulls to hold, go back historically, identify breakers, and you're probably going to see a lot of instances where price got in and got out and took off from them, but it's also important to see, just go through enough of them in order to see the instances where it didn't work out and see what happens, right? Because I really don't have any other additional levels on GameStop for quite some time here, so below that breaker would not be friendly to bulls, right? You also have this bullish volume imbalance right here that we also held. I got rid of it for optics purposes, but this is GameStop. I like the risk reward. It's not all that bad to the downside here, in order for a potential massive upside move. I truly don't believe that this GameStop saga is over. All right, on to next, Mara. Here we go. So Mara, gapping up to start the week, which is great. You'll notice that last week we got that expansive type move to take out a couple of these equal highs. Beautiful. My model completes up here at 3409. I'll pull it up so you can see it even more clearly. Here it is. So 3409 is the completion of the Mando model on this. I want to say immediate, but this move took forever. But on this price run, we left smaller time frame relative equal lows. You'll notice them right here between Thursday and Friday, right here, those equal lows. I'm a little indifferent. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if price were to go back down and take those out, but also that's right off 50% of your weekly or daily bullish breaker. I'm sorry, low, high, lower low, break up and through, hit right off the midpoint of it, and really clean off the midpoint. And now we're gapping up. We're getting that volume imbalance higher. So ideally, all of these crypto miners, or anything really in relation to Bitcoin, gets going this week. I would like to see Bitcoin at those all-time highs very soon, ideally at the end of the week, but we'll see about that. But there is that Bitcoin conference this weekend. On to the next. Let's go. Let's look at a firm. Okay, so a firm right now, it's green to start the morning. Had a nice little reach last week to take out buy side liquidity here. You'll notice that I do have this little volume imbalance here on the weekly. I wish it would have hit there. It still could, but just I think here is what gives me like the best risk reward for it. So if I get an opportunity there, I'm going to be thrilled. But if not, on smaller little intermediate moves, I'm still going to play it and play it safe, of course, knowing that I have this volume imbalance below. But you have a couple high wicks up here, relative equal highs, and my model on the weekly on a firm completes at 52.48. So with time, I think that's where it's going ultimately. Now let me see if you guys posted over in here. Okay, cool. I see a few. Nice. All right. Yep. All right, so let's do CELH first, okay? So, and I'll show you where my initial idea came from, anyways. So I tweeted it again last night. You can look it up if you want, but yeah, CLH did not look great to me at the time of tweeting it. Here and CELH. Here it is. Okay. So here's just the quarterly chart. I tweeted this on the 1st of July, and I said I would like to see low 40s on this, and we're well on our way right now. This is the imbalance on the quarterly time frame that Celsius made. I think price gets into here, and then from there, price could start moving. I think at that point, I don't think it's going to be an immediate wick and go, right? When do you have the earnings? August 8th. Okay, so there's still a couple of weeks left. So ideally, you get into this imbalance this week, and then next week, you kind of consolidate, and then following that, possibly with that earnings, you can get up and get going a little bit. But yeah, no, I mean, honestly, I'm not a huge fan of this name, but on the weekly, the chart doesn't look all that bad. Here's where the idea also stemmed from. You have relative equal highs above, so I do believe at some point we will get back up there, but I do think these lows need to be cleaned up, and specifically get us down into this low 40s imbalance here. This is on the weekly time frame as well. So yeah, if you want to see where I tweeted it, you can type in at Mando Trading on X with the $ and just do CELH, and you'll be able to see that one just fine. All right. All right. So let's see. Sorry, I'm just clicking through for a sec. Okay. Yeah, like the stream, please. Like the stream. Thank you. Snowflake, sure. Snowflake, another dud. Here, does not look good. Here's Snowflake. I personally think it's going to go to those relative equal lows now. Didn't get into discount of this range, but a rejection nonetheless, and ultimately started that retracement down. You got these relative equal lows. These are those all-time lows, believe it or not. And we rejected from a weekly bearish breaker and bearish imbalance right here. Love when they have double the layer of confluence on these trades. And then low resistance liquidity run from 119 to 110. So I think Snowflake searches for liquidity to the downside prior to making any sort of upside move. Now, just like when we're at all-time highs, when we're at all-time lows, it does become more difficult to try and snipe bottom, right? Why? We've never been there before. There's no price data. There's no liquidity down at that point. It's price discovery, right? So at that point, I always like to wait for some sort of imbalance to form in order for me to get the little next leg of price and have some confirmation behind that. But that is Snowflake, kind of a dud, at least if you're bullish. Poet, sure. Okay, let's look at Poet. Okay, Poet does not look bad. Okay, let's see. This is another name that was. Did we recently take out the all-time low? We did. Nice. Okay, so we swept all-time low liquidity and our current price run. So let's do this. Actually, I think I got it. Just to be fair, I should just to be fair, I don't know if this name has ever split or anything like that. So just take that for what it's worth. But here, let's zoom it in a little more. Okay, here is what you currently have. Now, this is under $5, so I'll tell you right off the bat that I do tend to avoid these names due to the fact that I believe that the necessary liquidity in order to move price is not currently on this chart. Okay, any of these big names, anything over that penny stock threshold, I do believe that the necessary liquidity to move the chart and move it quickly is present on the chart. Whereas anything under that $3, I think external liquidity needs to come in order to drive price. And I don't know when external liquidity is coming in to drive price, but I will show you this. Here's your first little price run from low to your high. Here's your discount retracement into a bullish imbalance. There's your run for highs. That would be the first Mando model to complete. And here would be the setup for the second. So you have your low to your high. We're not quite discounted, but there is a nice weekly discount imbalance here. Ideally, price would get in and price would get out. Now, the only thing is, again, like I said before, there needs to be some sort of what's the word? Some sort of external liquidity to come in to actually move this, or else you're going to see price action sit like this. And I don't really love sitting in stuff forever. So, you know, the setup is fine, candle wise, but it's just under $5. And, when that happens, I tend to avoid. But that is Poet. All right, let's go a couple more here, and then I got to get going to trading. Did we touch on Rumble? No, we didn't. Let's do Rumble. Soon this morning brew is going to be exclusive to Rumble. I'm just letting you all know that now. So if you're not on there following me and you like this morning brew, you should probably do it. All right, so here's Rumble, low to your high. Here's your discount retracement into a bullish imbalance. Also a bullish breaker. You gapped up last week to create a bullish volume imbalance. Excellent. Here is a bullish imbalance right here with that gap up from last week. So you do have that imbalance there on the weekly. I remember what we were looking at on the hourly was this, and we never quite got it yet. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Okay, so we got into that hourly bullish volume imbalance. There's one more below down here as well, but this idea I don't think goes bad and below that weekly volume imbalance here, or weekly fair value gap. Sorry, here. But yeah, looks decent on Rumble for sure. A lot of relative equal highs above as well. So that'll be Rumble. Let's keep rolling. So Roku, sure. Let's do Roku. Okay, Roku was a hot one in the group. Not for me specifically, but a couple other people were on this one. So yeah, Roku looks pretty good on the weekly time frame. Here you created a bullish breaker. We tagged the breaker last week and we bounced a little bit. Also, you have a bullish fair value gap here with relative equal highs above, and 50% of your most recent bearish price run is up there at $75. Let's come over to the hourly. And okay, so here's what we got on the hourly time frame here, from your low to your high. Not quite discounted. That would be the most ideal situation for me. I will tell you, it does not necessarily have to get discounted. I'm just looking at it from my model, my trading perspective. If I don't see it down there, I'm likely not gonna trade it. Okay, does that make sense? And that's just based on my trading setup, and I try to trade as many or take as many trades on that as possible. Okay, but decent. I still think it could go a little bit lower. Let's just see on the hourly range. Yeah. Okay. So your hourly range is still pretty big here. Price run, the immediate price run that took out that high was from that low to this high. And like I said before, there has yet to have been a discount retracement into any sort of bullish imbalance. So that would be ideal to get some sort of retracement into discount of this hourly range. And that would be awesome to me, at least on Roku. Okay. So let's see what else we got. Got like 2 minutes here. AI still in the monthly fair value gap. Still looks fine. I'm going to just run through these quick. Apple and UPS. Sure. Let's do Apple. I haven't looked at Apple in a minute. Okay. Here's Apple's weekly range. Still extremely quote unquote extended into premium. We did just tag this weekly bullish fair value gap. So ideally, if you're bullish, you kind of want to see it get into that and get out and start making its way back higher. It is up about 1.25 percentage points in pre-market. But yeah, if you're bullish on Apple, you kind of want to see it get going here. Here's your daily on it. Similarly, look at the size of this range. Very, very large. Okay. We do have that discount imbalance also on the daily time frame, so not bad. Now, here, let's go on to the hourly and just see where we exactly stand. Okay, so Apple, while we refer to our overarching or higher time frame range as bullish, right? Here's what you're working with on your hourly. We did hit discount and we did get into an hourly discount imbalance. So I don't really hate Apple. I think it's pretty well defined on either side of the coin you want to look at it from. In this area up here, this would be where I would deem a showtime imbalance right here. Okay, I think that would be an important spot to get up and through. And you have relative equal highs above right up here at 231-ish. So that would be an area in which I would be a little bit more hands-off due to the fact that despite our higher time frame trend being bullish, our more immediate time frame trend is on the other side of that. And the daily time frame could get you back into that bearish fair value gap right here and give you that rejector. This is also a daily bearish breaker, high, low, higher high, break down below, retracement back into it. So we'll see how that goes. Last one, we'll do UPS. UPS is inside a weekly bearish fair value gap. It did create a bullish one right here. Personally, I think I have an alert set for a little bit lower. That brings you deeper into discount of your monthly range. If I miss it, so be it. But even for someone who's bullish on UPS right now, you have structure behind the idea with that imbalance. I don't love the equal lows. I think those could totally get swiped. So that's why I'm just, if I get it, great. If not, oh well. But that's something, and this is not a name that I would really trade options on anyways. I'm looking at this more towards a higher time frame, more long-term, shares type position. So, but anyways, all right, that's all I got for today. So everybody who joined, thank you. We will catch you again. Like I said, this morning brew is going to go exclusively onto Rumble very, very soon here. So if you're not already, follow me on here, and you'll see I drop a lot more stuff on here that's behind the scenes. This is more of like group stuff, but also one of these nights this week probably end up gonna be Thursday. I have a new video that I'm gonna share, and I think it'll be really helpful for you guys, and we're gonna premiere it on here, and then after the fact we will after the video I'll be able to answer any questions any of you guys might have. So that's just a little bit of what we got going on today. I'll be live trading in Wolf Financial's live space at like 11 o'clock. Then on tomorrow we will do live trading in the group. Wednesday live trading in the group, as well as a weekly EDU call in the Discord. Then we'll go Thursday. We'll do the premiere of that video that I had made. A lot of you in the group have already seen it, but and then from there we will get it rolling. But that's just a little outlook for the week. So all right, everyone, thank you for joining today, and I will catch everybody soon.